What's up, Sky Squad? We are back in the building. Even on vacation, we still gotta do a little talkerization about what's going on in the news. So y'all know we about to get into some things, okay? In the news today, we got your girl Kandi Burruss. We talking about her spinoff, okay? We also got to talk about your girl Kenya Moore. She has been edited out of a scene in the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and we got to talk about it, okay? Then we got some more information on this Porsha and Simon situation. It's getting crazier by the minute, okay? So, sit down and grab yourself a snack and let's go ahead and get into this news. Also, you know, since we not live today, still feel free to go ahead and drop that location down in the comment section. You know, we nosy over here and like to know where you guys are watching from. We like to know where our people are. You know what I mean? Now let's get into it, okay? Now, if you see me looking over here, it's because I'm looking at my notes, right? But Kandi spinoff, the OLG project is happening and it is coming out this fall. Okay, so let me give you guys the tea on what has occurred, right? So, you know, every year or I think it's either fall or spring. I think it may be just the spring. Anyway, at some point in time each year, the networks have what they call upfront, which is where they basically pitch their shows, new and returning, that are going to be up for grabs for advertisers to participate in. They want to see how it sounds to the advertisers. You know what I'm saying? They want to pitch it to the advertisers to get them ready, ripe and ready to spend that cash, okay? So at this past Monday's upfront, NBC Universal released a whole slate of new shows for a lot of their particular programming channels, right? And Bravo just happens to be one of them, right? So Bravo released several new shows, which are really kind of almost spin-offs and some original programming, right? So Kandi's OLG project falls under the category of one of those spin-offs, right? So here is basically what the press release says about this particular show, okay? Now, they say in this new Accusations. Now, Accusations, I'm assuming that is to be some sort of, you know, akin to docu-series, which is what, you know, Real Housewives of Atlanta is supposed to be, but it's bordering on more reality show at this point in time. And the difference for me is that reality TV at this point is starting to feel a little bit more, you know, scripted, situational, okay? Now, an Accusations or a docu-series is gonna follow, you know, the cast and crew on the job, okay? Occupational series, you know, if you want to, for lack of a better term, right? Anyway, they say in this new Accusations, we'll watch as Kandi, Todd, and the old lady gang comprised of Mama Joyce, aunts Nora and Bertha continue to build their restaurant empire while keeping their over-the-top and opinionated staff in line and making their vision come to fruition. Now, they say this new series follows the staff in and out of the restaurant, witnessing how workplace slights bleed into their social lives. Everyone at OLG has a passion, be it for dancing, comedy, or just to follow in Kandi's mogul footsteps. And these dreams can get in the way of running food and ensuring customers don't leave those dreaded one-star Yelp reviews. And the fact that some are single and constantly flirting with cute clientele and each other doesn't exactly help things either. It's a monumental task to face, but if anyone can do it, it's Candyland, okay? Now, let me tell you something. To me, this sounds very reminiscent of Vanderpump Rules. And I gotta tell you, I'm all the way here for it, okay? Because for the most part, I'm gonna just keep it 100% with you. For the most part, Vanderpump Rules has never really, you know, it has never really appealed to me that much because, I mean, listen, again, I can watch shows with, you know, a cast of all white people. I don't have a problem with that, but I do like to see elements of diversity in my shows, right? And so to me, it's just only right that we get to see this in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? We get to see, you know, some melanin included in a series like this because I feel like it's going to be popping. So I'm excited about it. Another show that you guys were seemingly really interested in was this show called Love Match Atlanta. Now, this is an all-new series that explores Atlanta's most highly regarded black matchmaking companies as they utilize distinct methodology, charm, and skill to find a match for some of the city's most eligible and demanding singles. Celebrating the business of black love, the series follows these matchmakers and their teams as they work to outmaneuver their competitors, matching high-profile singles who are on the hunt for the ultimate relationship and willing to pay top dollar for it, okay? So I'm excited about this as well. I think that this is going to be great programming for Bravo because typically I feel like we see stuff like this on OWN. And so to me, it's nice to see that Bravo is starting to expand its programming to really cater to the African-American and, the black, market. Because listen, we are watching the shows. Cater to us, okay? That's what I think. Anyway, so let me know if you guys are excited about that. Also, just to let you guys know, the Kandi OLG project is also produced by Kandi Coded Entertainment and T Tucker Productions, okay? So Kandi and Todd are gonna also serve as executive producers, which does not surprise me, and it just adds another notch under their belt. Now, let's move on along, okay? All right, y'all, so let's talk about Kenya Moe, okay? Let me give you the tea on what's going on with her. So, you guys may recall the episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta from this season called If You Got It, Haunted, okay? Now, in this episode, Kenya wore a Native American headdress, and a lot of people actually found it offensive, okay? So, with that being said, Kenya Moore, she made a public apology. She chalked it up to it being a teachable moment. Bravo also made a comment under an Instagram post, apologizing for this as well. And now they have edited your girl out of the episode altogether. Well, at least that scene, excuse me. They edited her out of the scene. So what you guys may recall is that, Kenya had a sit down with LaToya where she was confronting her about something. So now when you look at the sit down, all you see is LaToya talking, and then they're panning to the wall every time Kenya talked. Anytime she was in that scene at the Halloween thing, she's now out of it, okay? So she is non-existent in that scene altogether at this point. I just wish that they had caught this earlier, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes it feels like, a lot of people have been saying that it seems like they've been trying to make an example out of her, and that they've been a lot harder on her than they have been on previous cast members who have done problematic things. Like, let's say Luann in blackface, you know what I'm saying, as Diana Ross, okay? From their Halloween episode in Real Housewives of New York that season. But is she edited out of that? That is the question that people want to know. The people wants to know, is it going to be the same across the board? Is everybody going to face the same level of consequence? Is that what is going to happen from this point forward? That's what the people want to know, okay? What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section down below. Should this be the case across the board? You guys let me know. Sound off. And I will note again, we did get an apology from Kenya Moore and from Bravo. So, and I think that Luann kind of apologized for it at the time, but, I just want to know if she's going to be edited out of that episode as well, because that was offensive to a lot of us, right? Moving on. We got to talk about Simon, okay? Porsha and Simon, all right? We got to talk about what's going on with the two of them. Now, you guys know that there was a young lady that had come out with some, accusations about, not really accusations. She's sort of telling her story about, meeting Simon around the time of March 30th, okay? So people have been sort of maybe speculating that she was somewhere in between Porsha and Fallon, which I guess she technically was, but that there may have been some overlap, okay? And so, she's got photos in his Ferrari. She tells us stories about them hanging out together and them DMing each other, and hanging out, I guess, even during the period of time between when Simon started dating Porsha a month ago, okay? Now, I know she's done interviews. She's done interviews with Baller Alert, the Jasmine brand, also Tasha K. I haven't been able to check out the Tasha K interview because I've also been traveling. But when I get an opportunity to, I'm going to check it out. Well, what I do know is As a result of, the things that she's been saying in the press, we know that now Simon is also coming out and making some statements of his own, okay? So he posts a picture of her and he tagged the location and the date, which is March 31st at 7:49 p.m., okay? In Atlanta, Buckhead Village. So he posts this in the caption. He says, "Let's have some fun. If anyone can show credible receipts that I cheated on my ex-wife between 6/14/2019, the date of marriage, and 1/15/2021, date of initial divorce filing, I have $50,000 waiting for you." Okay, $50,000. Okay. In the meantime, he says, we have timeline issues with someone claiming to have dated me at the same time as my fiance Porsha. I have an extra $25,000 for any receipt showing that this actually happened. Let's get to some facts. By the way, I keep very meticulous record receipts of my life, okay? Now, the comments have been turned off, so you can't comment if you got a receipt or not. So I don't know how you're going to get in touch with the man if you got a receipt or something like that to collect your coin. I guess maybe you have to go live on Instagram or something like that in order to do so. I don't know. Or maybe he's basically speaking that directly at her. All I know is that the man is busy. He's in Uganda with Sheree and folk, okay? So, the man is busy. The man is booked and busy and on his way, and he's doing big things. But he got the money and he got the coin for you if you can produce some type of receipts to indicate that he has not been faithful to his fiance of a month, okay? Well, of a couple of days, because obviously they just been together for a month. But, the engagement happened the other day, I guess. Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. So there's that. Now, Porsha, for her part, Portia's back to working out. It looks like she's back in the gym, and she posted on Instagram too. Now, I noticed the timing of the post, or maybe it's just the time that I saw it, okay? She says this: if you don't understand it fully, don't speak on it. Too many people have full opinions and half the facts, okay? Now, this is a quote from Tony Gaskins, and what I did notice is that this came suspiciously after the time that I saw a live. Mind you, I'm in the airport now. I saw a live in which Nene Leakes was talking to, I think, an interviewer from Sheen Magazine. And I apologize for not knowing the young lady's name from Sheen Magazine. But shout out to Sheen Magazine. But, Nene Leakes was doing an interview and she was asked about the Porsha situation. And she said, listen, I thought that was Miss Diane's man that Porsha was hanging out with, and her and Dennis, okay? I said, not Miss Diane's man. But anyway, I was like, oh, okay. And I'm just watching, and she's basically saying, well, listen, I may not agree with something that my friend does, but, that's her life, and she is grown. She's, 40 years old, I guess, at this point. I don't know how old Porsha is at this point, but anyway, she around that 40-year mark, so she obviously is grown, right? And she says the only thing that you can do is, when you have a friendship like this, she says you just ask your friend, hey, have you thought about the consequences of these actions? What do you think is going to be the outcome or whatever? And she also reiterates something that Tammy Roman reiterated, was the fact that, a lot of times when these ladies are introduced on these shows, they're not really friends. They may be claimed as friends on the show for the purposes of being introduced as a friend. But, in reality, they probably have never met them before. And she states that was the case with Porsha. That was the case with Cynthia for her. That was the case with, I forgot somebody else that she named at first as well. So she understood that logic and that level of thinking. But she also felt like it was kind of like, it kind of makes other women look at, Porsha with a side eye, or an action like that with a side eye, like, okay, well, is this the type of, chick that you want to bring around your man? So anyway, all I'm saying is I'm not saying that there's a correlation here, but it was just interesting that there was this post right after that. I saw that live. So interesting. Could be a coincidence. I don't know. All I do know is that Porsha is looking mighty good in these photographs. Okay. So that's the news that we got for y'all for today. Listen, I told y'all, I'm on vacation, but we still got to do some work when we need to, okay? With that being said, y'all, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit that notification bell button, and I'm going to catch you in the next video.